My name is Mary Tasillo. I am the director of Common Press, which is the letterpress and book art studio at UPenn. And we're right now sitting in, I'm in my office. I'm in the corner of the press, and the press is located in the basement of Fisher Fine Arts Library here on campus. And my job here is really to oversee the activities of the press, which include supporting classes that are learning about print and book history, supporting design and fine arts classes. We also are doing print production for Kelly Writer's House. So I come to this having always been really interested in both visual arts and in writing, and so that led me as a student, a college student, to pursue book arts when I learned what that was. It's like, oh, what is book arts? I was really interested in kind of the idea of a grown-up picture book and ways that that text and image could play back and forth with each other. And then after I graduated, I decided after a couple of years out in the working world that I was interested in getting a Master of Fine Arts in Book Arts and Printmaking, and that led me to Philadelphia because there are only a few MFA programs in the country that focus really specifically on book art. That was kind of a while ago. I've been at Penn for coming up on 5 years this spring. And so just sort of in between, there's a good juggling act of teaching artist work, and I also was really interested in having a community-based space for letterpress printing. It's like, oh, I've been developing letterpress printing skills through my MFA program, and then you graduate. So there's some different things here, right? Because one thing that I really love about printing with other people is I love guiding people through making their first print, printing something for the first time, because there's a moment of magic when something comes off the press and people get really excited about it. And then I get really excited about it, even though I've done it like thousands of times, but that's still exciting. And then I think that speaks to just like, oh, what do I love about working on these old presses, which is the satisfaction of seeing things come off the press, that you lay all this groundwork that can be time consuming or tedious to set things up, and then to see it get transformed through the process of printing is really exciting. Sometimes you get everything set up and it goes really well, and then other times you get everything set up and you think you know how it's going to go, and just something isn't right. It's like the rollers aren't inking up right, or something's not, like a line is a little wobbly and you can't figure out, it just like takes a long time to figure out why. Or something's going beautifully for a while, and then you're like, oh, I'm 3/4 of the way through this print job and now something is behaving differently. And sometimes that problem solving can be fun, but sometimes it can be really demoralizing and frustrating. I was always interested in visual art and writing, and I feel like this is a place where those two things really come together, that the text is visual, and I feel over time that the way that things I make have developed is really, oh, I make visual art, but the content of that visual art is text. This is a place where those things come together really naturally. Working with the movable type allows you to play with that visual language in a way that's really different from working digitally. Getting the impression of the letters in the paper, and that we have this evidence of the process that is that's just different from what we print when we print digitally. One is just we have limitations in the shop here, so we have these constraints that we don't really have digitally, because we're used to having like thousands of typeface choices at our fingertips, and here we have about 50 styles of type to choose from, and then that's more drawers because we have multiple sizes, but that means two things. One, it means that I I'm stretched to make creative choices that I wouldn't make working in the computer, because I'm limited. So I might that might push me towards something I wouldn't normally be drawn to, and that just expands my design vocabulary, essentially. Like what tools do I have at my fingertips, and I can be pushed in that direction, both because of how many choices I have down here, but also because some of the drawers are better stocked than others. So sometimes you might run out of ease in what you're setting, and that also might make cause me to make a different choice that might take me somewhere new. And then also there's some type down here that hasn't necessarily been digitized. A lot of it has, but my favorite example is airport tourist, which maybe sometimes someone will show me that they'll find the digitized version of it, but I have yet to see it. So I just like that it's something that's for me just special about the shop here.